The Table is Yours podcast contains content that may not be suitable for some audiences, such as themes of violence, swearing, sexual language, alcohol, and death. We advise you to check the episode description for any other specific content warnings. Please, if any sequences or episodes are ever triggering or uncomfortable in any way, we ask you to take a pause from the episode or skip it entirely. It is important that our table is a safe space for everyone, including you. The Table is Yours podcast is a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends around a table and through video call play tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. Together, we hope to bring the joy and fun of our game to you wherever you are, as if you're part of our table. For when you're sitting, creating, and playing with us, the table is yours. Hello, and welcome to The Table is Yours, a role-playing adventure show, and this is our final session today. But today is our final session of recording, so this will either come out in one part, and then two part, or three parts. There's no one part. One episode, then two part, whatever. Anyway, me, hi, we're nervous, we're jittered, we're jattered, we're wired, we're wizard. Yes. Counterspell. I am your GM, your DM, your best friend, Con Riley. My pronouns are they, them. You can follow me anywhere at Kryles. And for our last fun facts, one of our favorite moments from the campaign thus far. For me, a lot of it, this campaign has been really good. But I do gotta say, my favorite moment of the campaign, it just makes me giggle and laugh every time I think about it or rewatch it. I gotta say it's Terrence with Gug for the first time. It's so fucking funny. Especially my favorite part is when Terrence goes, I was wondering if you could make this. And then Gug goes, yeah, I can do that. And then Terrence goes, great. And then Gug goes, okay, great. Anything else I can help you with today? It makes my entire body happy, so.
I'm looking for a lantern that can't be, snuffed out.
Okay, lantern that can't be snuffed out.
Yeah, maybe something like magical or...
Magic lantern that can't be snuffed out. Yeah, I could probably do something like that.
Great,
Okay, great. Anything else I can help you with today?
Well, what would it cost?
That would probably be my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments of the entire campaign. But let's move on to our Fated Fate friends, starting with Vic Schmidt for the last time, except for the
last time. Hi, I'm Vic. I play resident rat boy Terrence Astonis. My pronouns are they, them. Terrence's pronouns are he, they. You could find me on Instagram at Vic_Gene___. Yeah, I'm very excited for today. And my favorite moment, I can't think of any funny moments off the top of my head, even though that there are so many good funny moments throughout this entire campaign. But my favorite dramatic moment was Codex casting the counterspell in the Balthazar fight, I think, with the big shark that comes up and eats the fireball. And then the dramatics that ensue immediately afterwards. But it was that, pinnacle moment. The Balthazar fight overall was just,
sauce.
Loved it. It was amazing.
He's gonna cast fireball.
Oh, no. My God.
How close is he to me?
60 feet. Exactly.
Counterspell.
Yeah! Yeah! And now he's our ally, so that's cool.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Wash, pronouns he, him. You can find me in your AC ducts. One of my favorite moments in this campaign was my very lucky roll with a very bad lie as I pretended to be a priest.
Oh, yeah! Father, what's going on here?
I've brought these two children to this guild to repent.
Roll a deception.
Why did you say repent?
Not 20! No!
Hey everybody, I'm Heather Lore. I play Shay Erebos. You can find me on Instagram at Land of Lore, pronouns are she, they. And I have a million favorite moments. It's been fantastic. These have been very, very fun characters to play with and as. I think one of the funniest Shay moments, though, is when Connie and Codex, I think, got pulled into the Lady of Wants different dimension, and Shay kept fucking trying. She's like, I just want to get in there. I can't fail these rolls. I just want to get in.
Make a charisma save at disadvantage for when you start digging, and we'll get to when you get in there.
My lowest is a 16, which is a 23.
You are
so in control of yourself.
Shay will be the one that gets to the stone and be like, what the fuck? I can't get horny! Ah!
Hi, I'm Sydney. I play Codex Sayori. Both of our pronouns are she, her. I think out of the million things in this campaign that I really liked, because in my notes I take direct quotes sometimes with timestamps, and I write bars underneath it. and I have not gone through, but I'll drop some in our chat afterwards. But one of my favorite moments was actually also in the Visaro thing. Like, that whole entire section of, like, Terrence at, like, staring at Con.
Oh, yeah.
When they're all talking
What
about
the
what
hell are you
supposed
saying?
to do. When you're like, what the hell are you doing? And then we talk about the squid, and you're like, I'm not.
So what I'm thinking is that, remember, Issa did something out of hate. We have to do something out of pleasure.
What the hell are you saying right now?
I saw whatever that weird pink thing was. Is that a squid?
Yeah, it's my squid.
When did squids become so different?
What?
Squids look more like... And she's like making gestures and you're like, what the fuck? What is that?
She turns into a squid for Terrence, and he's like, I'm not.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I play Isabella Ballador, Chiefling Paladin Bard of the group. We both use she/her pronouns. And like everyone else, I have a lot of fun and flirty memories from this campaign. Still the funniest moment. So when Finley came in and gave Issa the sending stone and she called Kaz and he was like, how are you doing? And she was like, I've been better. And he was like, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that's really...
How are you?
We're okay. How are you?
Been better.
Glad to know you're alive and that you are being better.
Hi, for the last time, I'm Jake. I play Finley de Galilei, Fearbold Druid. He's big, I'm just a boy. You can find me in the future with whatever projects we move forward with. I have a lot of favorite moments as a viewer and then player of this campaign. One of them, obviously, is Terrence and Gug. They're my friends forever. I love both of them. During the fight club, when it's like everything's going crazy and it's getting so close to the end and Codex is like, ah! And the artist formerly known as Dark Fury, now we know as Salmex, just like gets really big and horrifying and goes, your light is out. I love that moment. Absolute favorite moment. Just thinking about it, I'm like, oh god. Ooh. And he did. Snuffed.
You watch again, just you, Codex. It's like the darkness around him grows. He becomes almost like a silhouette with red at the top, and red eyes start popping up everywhere, and red bloody hands start to grab at you and say, I would never kneel to an ant like you. You are small. You are pathetic. Your light is out.
Yeah, you, of course, can find us anywhere at TTIYDND on all socials. That is YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Support our Patreon. We will have cool things, and maybe because we're done recording, we'll have things up because we won't be working on this so much. We'll be working on just editing and other things, because I'm going to have this as brain rot until the last episode is literally out for the public. I'm sure I will have Fated Fates' brain rot in my head for a long time. Yeah, support our Patreon. We obviously like the support, and we love you, and we love that you love the show, and also we will have a season 2, so there you go. But
I would like to say, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us.
Yeah, thank you for supporting
This
us.
is the last one.
I would also like to say, if for some reason you don't know who we are, fuck you, start at episode 1.
Right.
Go back to the
They'll definitely
beginning.
go
Let's
back to episode 1 now that we've yelled at them.
But with that, for the first campaign of The Table is Yours, following the Fated Fates, if there are no questions, concerns, queries, wonders, hopes, wishes, or anything like that, let's get into the recap of what happened on last episode of The Table is Yours.
What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
Amnestria, the pontiff of the entire Tidethorns religion and pseudo-leader of all the continent of Zobraria, being the mother of the children of blood, was definitely not something I had on my fantasy bingo card, but here we are. I guess just like how Salmex's wishes made his sisters bad, them bringing back the wonderful woman we saw from those visions changed Amnestria entirely. She was crazy, making a tiny sun above her head and ready to burn all of us until Codex subtle spelled teleportation circle to get us, King Gil, Yelena, and Darian the hells out of Dodge and back to our keep. Once there, we filled in the Dematas and the rest of our allies on what was going on, prompting Fiara to use the diamond from the Onyx Obscurity to wish the Fair Father into the other diamond kept in the Russet Waste, meaning, poof, the sun was gone. Which then made Amnestria release a statement magically to the public in the Burg calling us the Fated Fates enemy number 1, saying we killed the Archbishop, abducted the King, and turned off the lights over the entire world. As soon as Amnestria was done pointing a finger at us, we heard the chaos ensue as the Blood Dogs once again ran rampant around the Burg. We saved as many people as we could, including our friends and family, and we made a plan. basically, we assumed the family of blood would be heading to the Dawnwood to seep the power from the only thing closest to the power of the sun, so we had to stop them soon. We gave Darien the Larakai Druid right to go unseen by the family to protect the keep, our families, and other allies who couldn't come with us to the Russet Waste. Hoping they'd be safe there, we left Darien, Codex's parents, Issa's dad, and a few others to stand guard. In our collective, following Fiara's lead, was all three Damatas, us, Sham, Maud, Loretta, Dogma, Yelena, Ezra, Heluana, Rush, Willow, and Kryn. Stepping into the fray of the overrun burg, we immediately saw the Children of Blood as Salmex uttered, "I wish." Issa tried to interrupt him, but that just made Gazania rush at her. After that, it was basically like a blur of running out of the burg towards the Russet Waste, avoiding the siblings' attacks. We got to the Russet Waste, where we reunited with Soom for the first time since we basically became the Fated Fates. Her mom, Ayessa, got us entry since her dad was like the leader there. We rested and made some plans. The big one being helping Finley in the Ignis Cal rite to resurrect his family because his mother, being much more practiced in the rites, could deter power from the Dawnwood so the family couldn't drain it. As we planned though, we found out what Salmex wished, which was to have Gazania hide in Issa's shadow. Gazania dashed right through the Russet Waste, stealing the last Dawnwood diamond that now held the Fair Father. We followed after her as we saw her give it to Salmex, who cracked and destroyed the diamond, taking the gold wire that held Zahara's and put it on like a crown, and then they teleported away. Kryn went to help the Russet Waste as the rest of us rushed toward Doshin Moor. We knew we had to resurrect Finley's family because the rite we planned would take Zahara's out of the wire and into the Dawnwood, which wasn't a forever solution, but at least they wouldn't have the freaking god of the sun in the palm of their hands. We rushed through the blood dog infested wilds and got to Doshin Moor, where Finley casted the rite and brought back his mother Liliana, his father, 3 sisters, and brother. Apparently they had been watching over Finley since they died, waiting for when the rite would be cast to bring them back. So luckily they didn't need to be caught up to speed. As Finley's family began the rite to transfer the Fair Fathers to the Dawnwood, Shay got a message from Hal saying he and Ish made a path for us to the Dawnwood at the edge of the grove. Rush, Willow, and Loretta said they protect Finley's family as the rest of us rushed through the burg to the grove. It was a lot of running. The sisters kept stopping us as our allies stayed and fought them so we could keep going forward until it was just us and the Nematas at the Dawnwood. Fiara stepped forward first to confront Salmex and Amnestria as the sisters trickled in. During that time, Finley teleported through a tree to the Dawnwood to finish the rite, slapping his hand down to connect to his family. Salmex's sun crown broke and the Dawnwood lit up. This pissed him off. Salmex wished for Fiara to die and never return, and then wished for Balthazar and Casimir to be in forever comas. And now there's just us, the 6 Fated Fates against Pontiff Amnestria, Aster, Gila, Gazania, and Salmex, the family of blood.
The blood you all have from the diamonds will help us reset this world. Roll initiative. Natural 20 for Salmex, so...
You hate to see that.
25 to 20.
23.
22.
24.
21, Terrence.
20 to 15. Okay. Well, neither did the rest of the girlies. 15 to 20.
No.
Okay. 15 to 10, sorry. 15 to 10.
11.
Okay.
But I rolled a natural 2.
Salmex is just going to say, this is going to be so much fun. So he's going to make a bunch of attacks at you. You watch as he just says, how dare you take that from me, as the 3 arms kind of almost like wing back, and they're going to come to slash all at the same time. That's a critical fail. Mod 20, 13?
No.
14.
Nope.
19.
Yep.
23 and 23.
Okay, so 4 of those do hit, yeah.
All right, 4 of the arm attacks to hit you. 50 slashing damage from all 4 hits altogether. Like, 50 is the total. And you watch as it just, like, slashes across you, and all the blood just goes right back into his arms.
As soon as that happens, every time, like, one hit from his hands connects, it's going to activate Finley's armor that he got from Tullus, which is then every, like, slash that hits, the sash slaps it back.
Got it.
So Finley still is going to take the damage, but then in total, Salmex is going to take 23 damage.
All right, that is Salmex's turn. As you do that, Salmex will be like, fire tricks against children of the Dweller. He kind of just chuckles.
Effortless, really.
It's your turn, Finley. Shay, you're on deck.
After all that happens, Finley is just going to not even move, just hold a finger up to his forehead and point blank cast Chaos Bolt.
Oh, okay. What do I have to roll?
I rolled to hit.
Got it.
I rolled 19.
Roll damage.
Nice.
He is going to point a finger, and it's going to, like, warble between multiple different colors, like pinks and greens and things like that. And he's just going to, like, tap him on the forehead with it, as he's going to take 2d8. 19 against Salmex, and then the bolt is going to kind of, like, beam into his forehead as he takes psychic damage, and then from the back, it's just going to shoot straight at Amnestria, as if it, like, pierces straight through his head. That is a 27 to hit.
That will hit her.
That is going to do 13 poison damage, and I rolled 2 6s. So he's going to have it bounce to Gila. That is a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hit her in the chest, and then it's going to shoot off to Gila, where it does 14 force damage.
Okay.
And then Finley is going to run around to be here.
All right, Salmex is going to take a legendary action in which he is going to... Yeah, he's going to use all of his 3 legendary actions for the round to wishful retreat as you watch him teleport himself over here. So, Shay.
All right. As all of that happens, anyone else that's standing nearby sees Shay's eyes glow that bright green. That's her normal sort of glow. And she starts elevating higher and higher. And as she's starting to levitate off the ground, her entire body starts to become very translucent. It's the same look of her shadows, so she's almost like one with the shadows of the grove, essentially. She is very ghosteel. But there are those streaks of the green magic just kind of faintly going through her that you kind of see. Her weapons, swords, everything that's on her is like that as well. And as she hovers about 10 feet off the ground, she is going to raise her right hand, and 4 green tentacles are going to shoot out of her right hand towards Gila and Gazania. That is it's going to be 4 different hits. So we have a 24.
Will hit.
18.
Will just hit.
Okay. 26. And another 28 for Gila.
They all hit.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. So the 2 that hit Gazania, that is a total of 12 damage. And then the 2 that hit Gila, that is a total of 12. Shay is gonna kind of hover her booty a little bit further away, still close to Cinnamon, but just kind of behind that.
Got it. So yeah, as you kind of jump and kind of turn almost ghostly ethereal, and you shoot those 2 bolts at Gila and Gazania, they'll both be kind of knocked back a little bit, and you'll watch as the 2 look at each other, and Gila smiles, and she'll be like, I'll take it. As she is going to use 2 of her legendary actions she has around to cast Entangling Vines on you. Can you please, well, not cast, but she's going to release a burst of vines. Can you please make a strength saving throw?
Nice, 15.
15. That will fail. You watch as she just kind of she goes, that one's mine. As she releases her hand, and you watch a bunch of vines just crawl through the underbrush, and they will wrap around Shay, and you're restrained. All right, Wash.
It's going to point at Gazania, flip her off, and cast Throw the Gauntlet.
What do I need to make? Well, I'm going to roll first. I'll roll first. Don't tell me. 8.
That fails.
Yeah! Fail!
All right, so she wants to fight only you, right?
Yes. Cool. And then I'm going to run up as close as I can to her.
Got it. All right, so she's going to make claw attacks against you. 21 to hit and a 14.
21 hits, a 14 does not.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Compel Duel is a spell. She and the rest of them, just so you all know, have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. 18 plus 5, 23.
Yeah, that'll do it.
She's still going to attack you, so it's fine. 18 slashing damage. She will then disengage from you, and she will dash towards Issa. She'll knock you in the side, Wash, and then kind of just dash towards Issa with her claws out. Alrighty. Terrence.
I'm going to command V2 first, real quick. He says, V2, get back and stay back until I call you. So V2 is going to just stay right on the edge. Terrence is also going to take 1 step back, and he's going to look right at Aster, and he's going to say, I'm going to make you regret giving me this power. And he's going to take 7 serums all at once.
My god!
What? Terrence grows, he turns into Terry, but this is unlike a Terry that anyone has ever seen before. You saw, in the Seraphima fight, the person who was in Terrence's body takes 6. This is a whole new level of insanity. He is bursting at the seams. His veins are you could see the glow of the orange running through his veins on his muscles. His eyes have completely glossed over with this orange glow to them. He's still cognizant. He knows who everyone is. He is blind, but that is...
He's blind?
He's for 2 rounds. He's blind.
Oh, right!
I knew the risks doing this. Might as well start here. Yeah. So Terrence takes a step back, and he is huge. He is huge.
Yeah, you watch as she just takes a sip of her tea and says, Okay. As her scarf is just like flowing in a non-existent wind. All right, Aster. She is gonna take you up on your fucking little bet, guy. Aster walks into this like kind of like exuding people of cinnamon. Yeah, everybody but Finley's in her range. You just all smell this very sweet smell of flowers as she has her aroma of delight. Everybody has disadvantage on attack rolls against her while they can smell this aroma. Additionally, she has advantage on charisma persuasion checks against creatures in this range. She is going to use her floral charm to cast Charm Person at will on Terry. Wisdom save, please.
I got it. 9.
9. Okay, great. Yeah, okay. So you're charmed by Aster. You cannot hurt her. She charms you immediately. She is then going to, as a bonus action, she is going to look at Codex, and she's going to just say, why don't you slow down a little bit and drink a little bit of her tea? You will have disadvantage on saving throws until the start of her next turn. And then she is going to make 3 attacks. And none of them on Terrence. She is going to attack Cinnamon, V2, and Codex. She's going to attack Codex with her scarf, and she's going to like basically toss tea out at Cinnamon and at V2. So Cinnamon and V2 are going to be spilled with tea on. Natural 20 against Cinnamon, 17 against V2. So against Cinnamon, it'll be 37.
How much is just the bludgeoning?
16, 18 is bludgeoning.
Cinnamon can't be hurt by fire.
Got it.
He's immune to fire damage.
Got it. So he'll take 18 bludgeoning. All right, and then V2 will take... Oh, I rolled like shit. 1, 2, 3, 4... 8.
I'm going to use my reaction mostly for the bit, because I've had this the entire campaign and I've never used it. I'm going to use my Swordbreaker to try and catch the scarf as it attacks me.
Okay.
Yeah!
I rolled a 15 to hit.
I make an attack roll contesting the attack against me, and it would be at disadvantage if the weapon is heavy, which I'm assuming the weapon is not heavy. I got a 24. The enemy weapon is caught and they are grappled. I know she's immune to grapple, but I do have hold of her scarf now. So Codex, like, just lifts her arm and lets the scarf tangle around her arm, and she just starts to yank on it.
Terrence, my scarf.
Oh no!
I just like the idea that Aster's like, Terrence, my scarf. Like, you know what I mean? All right, that is, I believe, Aster's turn. It is now Amnestria's turn. She is going to walk right in between everybody so that you're all within 30 feet of her. And she is going to use her multi-attack full to do Corrupt Radiance. She kind of like outstretches her hands, and you watch as like, it's almost like light from the Dawnwood comes to her hands. Remember, currently, Zaharis is in the Dawnwood, and they know that. And remember, if the Dawnwood is broken too early, the sun's back. Just a reminder. So, I would like everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Terry.
29.
Oh shit, that means you just got hit, right?
Yeah, I did.
That's just like, Mom!
Always call me my style!
Mom, I was trying to do something!
Wash.
13.
Fail. Shay.
23.
Success. Codex.
15.
Fail. Issa.
15.
Fail. Finley.
Natural 20 for 31.
Succeed. V2, Cinnamon.
Natural 20.
Succeed.
18?
That'll fail. All that succeed will take half. All that fail will take full, and will be blinded for a minute. You can make a save at the end of your turn.
Can I use Tides of Chaos?
Yeah, I mean, if is it above 9?
23
Yeah,
to save.
that saves. Yep. All right. So I have to roll a lot of stuff. How much? That's right. 10d6. What the fuck am I rolling? 1, 2, 4, 6,
Oh my God.
7,
Oh my God.
8, 10, 15, 21, 27, 32. That's shit. Okay, 30.
I kiss you.
I kiss you, mom.
I kiss you.
All right, so 32 for full that people failed. If you failed, it's 32. If you succeeded, it's half, so 16. And then if you succeeded any resistant, you get 8.
And it's radiant?
It's radiant damage. Yep. That's Amnestria's turn, and she will just stand there. And then Gila's going to be like, do you need help, sister? And she's going to cast Poison Thorns at target. She's going to cast Poison Thorns at, or not cast, but she's going to use her Poison Thorn. I'm not speaking well. Gila's going to cast, do you need help, sister? Hey, sis. I'm sorry. Okay, let's start over. Let's roll back.
Do you need help, sister?
She's going to use her Poison Thorns, 3 darts at Codex. Critical fail would be 9. 19.
Meets a pizza.
And then 25. So for the first one, so I got a 2, 1, 2, and 4. So that's 2, 4, 5, 9 plus 7, 16 piercing damage. And then can you make a Constitution saving throw to see if you get poisoned?
15 plus 8, so 23.
Okay, so you're not poisoned. You're fine. And that is Gila's turn. She is going to stay right there. Now it's Codex's turn. Issa, you're on deck.
I'm committing to this Swordbreaker thing. Can you make a? We're gonna make a contested roll. I'm gonna try and disarm her.
Don't even. I rolled a critical fail.
If I succeed, I disarm the target and they drop the item. If the grapple then ends. If I roll a 19 or 20, I break the weapon instead. So I'm gonna roll anyway. I don't break the fucking scarf. Codex like gets hit by the thorns and like winces away, and then just comes back and just rips the scarf off of her.
It'll fall off, and Aster will be like.
And then as my action, I am going to subtle spell slow. I'm gonna choose Salmex because.
Okay, so Amnestria,
throw it out again.
Amnestria, Gila, Gazani, and Salmex. Okay, do I have to make a roll?
It's a wisdom saving.
The lowest natural roll I made was a 15. It's a wisdom save. The lowest plus is 4.
My spell save is a 21.
Gila got a 20. Amnestria got a 22. Gazania got a 23. And Salmex got a 23 as well.
Okay, so Gila's the only one that fails. Her speed is halved. She has a -2 to AC and dexterity saving throws. She can't use reactions.
There's no slow token, so I put on stunned.
Yeah, either that or you could just put a little pink ring around her. That works too. And I'll just remind you.
Okay, we don't need to be talking about Wash's Hall anymore. We don't need to be talking about Wash's Hall anymore. I want to hear about the
What about my hole?
Issa, her first swing's gonna be on the axe to Gazania. 26 to hit.
Got it. That'll hit.
23 radiant, 8 slashing.
And as a reaction, she will pounce away.
So she jumped away! Go this way! And I'll like haul her ass towards Scarf Girl.
Alright, and then Gila, you watch as a vine just appears in front of Amnestria, and you watch as this flower kind of appears and it puffs smoke towards Issa, Terry, and Codex. Can you all make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, I got on that one.
29.
Terrence is fine. Codex, what'd you get?
I got a 16.
You watch as the flower puffs this smoke at blinded Terry, blinded Issa, and regular fine Codex, as the pollen surrounds you all. This petrifying pollen, I'll call it, as you watch as both Issa and Codex get turned into stone. You are both petrified.
That's a real bummer, guys.
Yeah.
No.
You guys can make the Constitution saving throw at the end of your turns, and then Issa, you also have the blinded one too. Great. Top of the round. Salmex is going to see these petrified little babies, who I have advantage on with attack rolls, and he is going to come down to the two of you.
Oh.
Terry's like, guys, what's happening?
Since you guys are stone, you will have resistance to all damages, but he has advantage on his attacks against you. He's going to use all 6. I'm sorry. I'm going back. Hold on. He has layer stuff. Ha 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 ha.
Not layer.
Layer action. You're going to watch as Salmex says, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and point at Shay. He is going to use Blood Bond. He will target one creature with his lair, forcing them to make a DC 18 wisdom save, if you could.
The mod 20.
No worries, but if you did fail, you would have been magically bonded to Salmex and be compelled to serve him. Salmex is then going to appear in front of Petrified Issa and Petrified Codex, and you watch as he kind of tink tink tinks their stone, and he's going to use 3 on each of them of his blood arms to swipe. So he has advantage, but you have resistance to all damage.
Stuff now.
Codex dice, natural 20, natural 18. And that's another natural 18. It would have been a 3 if it was disadvantage. I'm assuming 29 and 29 hit.
Yeah, my AC is 25 right now.
35. So for the first hit, you will take 17. For the second one, you will take 8. And I'm already having it for you. And then for the last one, 18, so 9. Codex. 26, 26, and a 19.
Oh yeah, 19.
Okay, so they will all hit. I will have it for you again. It's 17, so 8, 9, so 4, 20, 10. Yep, that's his turn. All right, Finley, Shay, you're on deck.
Finley is going to run his full movement this way, and then he is going to cast Frostbite on Salmex.
Noted. Okay.
30 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 14.
Same thing as fire. When it hits him, it seems to not hurt him as much.
She's been restrained for a little bit. She's just kind of phase basically through the vines and go forward towards Finley a little bit.
Got it.
From there, I am doing a big apology to everyone here. This is gonna suck for a few people. After that, all 4 tentacles are gonna streak out towards Amnestria. That is a 29, another 29, a 26, and then a 13.
Oh, 13 misses, yeah. So yes, the first 3 do hit.
25. And then she's gonna use her bonus action to cast Fireball.
Shay, please. Please.
It's Kiss of Mephistopheles. It's just gonna streak through. It's gonna happen. They're all in the right way. As the tentacles all smack her, at least 3 of them smack her across the face, there's gonna be this jolt of green magic energy that shoots through one of them directly at her. And it's going to be a lot.
Everybody except V2.
Yeah, my boy.
It's a deck save.
Oh, God.
Becca and I automatically fail.
I was gonna say, I don't have to roll, right?
But you have resistance. And I know that Cinnamon's immune. I feel like Finley's probably immune.
I got a 19.
Aster and Amnestra are the only ones that fail. All right, how much damage?
It's 35 total, so I'll let you do the math.
17 against those who, for mine, 17 against those who succeeded, and then, or no, against those who failed, and then 8 against those who succeeded because they're resistant to fire, so half and then quartered. So Amnestra will take 17 and Aster will take 17. All right, so that's Shay's turn. Who's next on the chopping block? Wash.
He's going to rush at the nearest person, use Radiant Consumption, and that's an action. And I guess also use his Eldritch Claw tattoo, so both those two things are now activated.
What do I have to do for Gila for the radiant damage? Or she take it at the end of your turn, or the start of her turn?
It's the end of my turn. It'll be, if she has resistance, 5 damage.
Yeah, she does have resistance. Amnestria is going to be like, children, mommy needs help. And you watch as she kind of puts her hands out, and you'll watch as almost like radiance comes out of them, and it heals up Amnestria back to full. Now we are on to Terrence.
Can I use V2 as a seeing eye dog to guide me to Aster?
V2 is blind.
He's also blind.
Fuck! My seeing eye dog is blind! He's gonna take a step and hopefully hit Aster.
Roll a disadvantage, please.
A 26, and a 23.
They'll all hit, yep.
I'm ready to deliver my damage now. It does 94 damage.
Yes!
Fuck yeah.
Holy
yes!
So it's like the charge from his rings, he takes one right into her stomach, one like right across the face, and this like force damage that like, oh yeah, those ones would be force. It like pulsates through her face and her stomach and then up her chin. It like snaps her head back. And he just stands there. He can actually... Oh no, he used his bonus action.
Aster is bleeding.
Yeah!
Alright, it is Aster's turn. She's pissed. She is going to pick up her scarf because Codex is petrified. She's going to go, thank you. She is going to cast Fireball right on Terrence. You'll watch, she goes, oh, Terrence. The only reason why you're like this is because of me. And she probably like cups your face. And you watch she casts Fireball, but it doesn't look like Fireball. It looks more like this like growing... like sphere of poison as she's going to cast it at your head. So everybody make a dex save that is in that area. 17 is what you need to make.
So, V2 got 19. I got a natural 20.
Shay?
27.
Finley?
1.
You guys automatically fail because it's dex saves. But you'll take half because, yeah. So roll 66 me. Okay, I'm doing that. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. Alright, 5, 10. Now I'm rolling well. 15, 18, 22, 26, 30. 6, because she casted it at 5th level. Amnestria, she's going to go here. She's going to cast Guiding Bolt at Terrence, and then she's going to Sunblade at Shay. So, Terrence, that's you. 24 to hit.
That will hit.
66 of radiant damage. 17 of radiant damage. Away from my dolt. As she just cast Guiding Bolt, it hits you in the face. You're like, I'm already blind, come on. You watch as she does that same thing she did to Archbishop Ozzel, and you watch as like from her 2 fingers just as like this long, like almost rapier type sunblade appears from her fingers, and she's going to swipe at you, Shay. 18.
Nope.
Okay. It will miss.
Nice.
Alright, so she'll swipe and you'll just kind of like dodge out of the way. Alrighty, and then Gila's turn. She is going to use her only, one action, as she's going to use Toxic Blossom. I would like everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Terry.
Natural 20, and then for V2, 16.
V2 will just make it, so you will both take half, but you will not be poisoned for a minute. Okay, Shay.
23.
Succeed, you will not be poisoned, but you will take half. Yes, it's Constitution, so you will take half. Finley.
15.
Oh, you fail. Okay, good. What did Cinnamon get?
20.
It succeeds. 37 in full. Finley, you will be poisoned. Everybody else, Terry and Shay, Cinnamon and V2, you will take 18, because the rest of the gang is petrified. Alright, it is Gazania's turn. She'll use bonus action, disengage, and she will run past you to go protect Mommy!
Hey, fuck you! Get back here!
Gazania unleashes a devastating slash in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that cone must make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw, or take 8d10 plus 8 slashing damage on a failed save for half as much as a successful. So that's everybody but Wash.
Yep.
Can everyone make a dex save, please? Terry.
20?
Shay.
29.
Okay, you'll take none. Codex.
Oh, I'm failing it. 8.
Okay. Issa
17.
will just fail. Finley,
21.
succeed. Okay, I'm gonna roll my d10s, and then this is her destructive slash, which I recharged. 64 damage. So whoever failed, you will take 64 slashing damage. If you succeeded, you will take half. If you are also a person who has resistance to those things, you will take a quarter if you succeeded, or just half regular if you didn't succeed.
Here's the fun thing about that. If I didn't succeed, that would have put me exactly at 0.
It is your turn, Terry. Gazania's turn is over. She is standing there.
And he locks in on Aster, who is right in front of me. I'm assuming a 15 doesn't hit, but the second one will. So a 26 will hit. 25 damage for the first one, and then if I can use the pummel, I will. That is a natural 18, so that will hit also. 49 damage total.
Aster seems to really take a hard hit from this, Terry, and you watch as like she kind of slumps over to Amnestria, who looks like her whole mood shifts as she sees her daughter in pain. And you watch as she kind of just like makes this stomp on the ground, kind of causing an interruption to the fight and to initiative currently. You watch as like everything gets moved, you all get pushed back 15 feet. You watch as Amnestria looks at all of you and says, "You were all supposed to just be cattle! Look what you've done. I will make sure you're all back to what you're supposed to be. Pigs. Goats. Cows!" Looking at probably Finley. Sheep and pigs! And you watch as she just says, "Children, I will wish you back, but I need your help right now." As you watch, she brings the 3 of them to her, the 3 remaining, and you watch as they start to morph together. You all get pushed back as you just watch like this like glowing light as Amnestria then absorbs Salmex, Gila, and Gazania into her as she just like forms into this large being, probably about 15, 20 feet tall, and she looks like a combination of her with all her children. So, as she appears in front of all of you, and she'll just say, "Enough is enough. You will be the last lambs to slaughter, and then the farm will be restored, and my children and I will have peace." Reroll initiative. All right, so top of the round, Codex and Wash.
Guess he's gonna run up and use Haymaker. So it's an attack roll. If I hit, they move 20 feet back. And if they can't move that distance, they take a d6 for every 5 feet they don't.
Okay, roll to hit.
Does a 14 hit?
It'll miss. Alrighty, Codex.
She's gonna like look around at everyone else here. I'm assuming most people look very bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna reach out to 2 things within herself. First, she's going to reach out to the connection with Dogma that she has. Since they were, split by a diamond, by a wish, she's going to reach out to, like, that, what she likes to imagine is a tether between them. She's also going to reach out to her mother.
Yofet?
Yep, Yofet. She's going to reach out to both of those things, and she is going to subtle spell Wish.
Okay.
And use one of the basic effects that it can do. I can allow up to 20 creatures that I can see to regain all hit points and end all effects described on them in the Greater Restoration spell. I have to roll to see if I can ever cast Wish again.
Okay. So yeah, you can just do that because it's one of the base things.
And she sends just like, almost like a root system, all of that magic out to all of her allies that she can see. And now I'm gonna roll to see if I can ever cast Wish again.
What'd you get?
I can never cast Wish again.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 6. It's just like this sweeping force. Like I said, it's like a root system. It just tunnels through the ground. And it like sweeps up and like everybody. It's not like the grasping vines, like when she like restrains people with them. It's just like this really soft, like summer breeze that goes over everybody, and you just kind of feel it tousle your hair. And she, after that happens, doesn't get up because this drops my strength to 3.
After you make that wish, Codex, you will watch, as we'll call her Salmnestria, standing 20 feet tall in front of all of you. She watches you make that wish, and she says, "But you don't have the power of a diamond, or the god of the sun," as she touches the Dawnwood, and you watch as it not only seems to hurt her, but it seems like very similar to Salmex. She too needs blood to make a wish, so you watch as almost like blood pours out of her as she starts to burn from her hand against the Dawnwood, even though you would expect her to be resistant to that, as she then moves her other hand not on the Dawnwood to pull you all in closer to her as she seems to prepare to make a wish. But you watch as the eyes on her horn and such will move to look at everybody, like dead center all of you, and you just hear her go, "I wish you would all burn like the hells. I would like everybody to make a DC 30 Constitution saving throw.
I can do that with a
physically
19.
do that.
I can do that. Let's cook. Let's cook,
I did that!
Andrew.
With a natural 20, you do it.
I got a 31, bitch.
Yeah, nice.
I rolled a 3. It's not happening.
I rolled 30.
You will take half if you succeed. I will roll 3d100s.
Quarter damage.
Oh, okay, so we're gonna...
What?
I could get I could get 3 1s. I could get 3 1s.
Hey, bestie, do I take anything?
Yeah, I said half, Han.
And this is an area effect, right?
No, you burn from the inside.
Oh, I see.
What? I rolled the ones. 17 damage.
Yes!
I roll a second time. 54 damage. Third D100. That's cock. 68.
That's a total of 139.
139. It is fire damage, so you take. If you're resistant, you take half. All right, Shay, you could potentially do this. It's your turn.
Shay's just gonna keep poking her with her swords. Ooh. Ho ho ho. Okay, the first one is 29.
Go ahead.
And then the other one is a 25.
The miss.
Wait, let me use my inspiration.
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
Worth it. I got a 29 as well.
Okay, yep, both hit.
Alrighty, I'm not going to roll the radiant one because there's no point, but okay, so, oh nice. So just from the blades, that's a 19, and now let me roll my sneak attack. I get to use something of my soul trinkets on here, so I get to do even more damage, so hang on. Okay, so just from my blades and sneak attack, that's 62, and then I'm gonna break one of my soul trinkets, and do Wails from the Grave. Wails from the Grave is going to be a bunch of ghosts are going to basically just bombard her from the earth. And she is going to take another 18 damage from these ghosts just like screaming in her head.
So what, that's 70 damage?
That is 62 plus, that's 80.
Oh, 80, yeah, duh. She had 45.
So that, and then she casts Wails from the Grave from her soul trinket, and it is styled however you would like it to be.
So you watch as just like these souls from the Yusium all over Zobraria just start wailing through Amnestra Salmix Xaniasteril as just like faces you probably have seen before, people you knew. You start seeing some specific people. You see people you saw at the Fight Club, but eventually you will see your mother kind of go through, and as well as you'll see Connie go through. You will see like all these other people that you've known that you've died, have been sacrificed to blood, the people in Codex Saul when Balthazar sacrificed all these people, and you just watch as they kind of like overwhelm Amnestra. And you'll watch as she starts to glow this kind of like greenish hue as they're just kind of overtaking her and swarming her, and she's trying to swat them away. As you watch as it just gets so bright that she just like bursts, and you see Salmex and Nestria, Aster, Gila, and Gazania all just poof, and be like kind of strung up in the tree as if they get impaled by the branches that are broken on the Dawnwood. And you'll watch as the Dawnwood slowly glows bright and it will explode. The Dawnwood is gone. There is like rubble of the Dawnwood, so there's like broken pieces that all looked devoid of magic any longer, or like the magic it had. There's kind of like spikes and like loose branches that of which you saw the 4 or 5 figures of Amnestria and her 4 children, Salmex, Gazania, Aster, and Gila, all kind of like getting kind of impaled on, as they kind of like lay strewn along this battlefield that was the center of the grove of Zobraria. You were all beaten and battered, but you won.
Terrence falls unconscious for 10 days.
Do you drink your antidote?
I guess I could drink my antidote. Yeah, okay, so yeah, before he does, he's gonna drink it and shrink down to Terrence.
Immediately collapses to the ground.
You all kind of like take your moment. Codex kind of collapses from the big wish she did. Terry, who looks bestial, takes what looks like
it's gonna be like this rich gold color.
Drinks it, and you watch as like down to Terrence, and Terrence looks fine. As Terrence has kind of mentioned offhand, he's working on it. He worked on an antidote, and he must have. I'll leave the table open a bit before I have someone come in and interrupt.
Finley's probably just gonna like walk up to the remnants of the Dawnwood where the family is just kind of strewn about. It's been a big journey. He's had his feelings since they saw that one vision, and he's just gonna kind of like look up to all of them, and he's gonna just look at Salmex, who is so similar in circumstance to him, but had a different fork in the road, and he's just gonna softly just be like, I just really wish y'all could have just had a better life than this.
I need to roll something. Noted. Okay. as Finley just kind of probably like healing and helping. I mean, despite the healing you all do, you're gonna feel fucking bruised. There is this moment in which you see from the Dawnwood, like as it burst, there's still like a small little amount of gold as you watch it grow into what looks like this large figure that kind of stands above the remnants of the Dawnwood. And he is a golden outlined figure, almost ethereal, and has long, like orange, like almost like sunset orange robes on, and just what looks like this small, like circlet of radiance above him. Not exactly like a halo, but like it's kind of like this circlet above him, who you assume this must be the Fair Father. And he nods to all of you, and then disappears as you slowly see through the peaking of the canopies above light as the sun is returned to Zobraria. As well as you all feel the ping of the blessing Vivica gave Issa and the rest of you as the eye opens and you see this vision. And in front of you, you see figures in this kind of like white incandescent background. And they are of the trespasser gods. You see the whelp with his red linen wrap, the bolt master with his red gloves, the lady of want with her red stitched in latex dress. You see the Maxim's Eye with his red pupil, the 4 variant with his glitches and the 1 red glitch shadow, the Immolator with the red ribbons around her wrists and around her neck, and the Scarred Warlord with the red horns out of his helmet, as well as 2 figures you never got to meet. The Coiled Coin, who is this very large, impossibly large dragon, where his eyes are currently red sapphires, and you see another one that looks almost like an elven figure, like a humanoid elven figure, and his hair, instead of being hair, it looks like it's made out of like strips of paper that have text on them, and they all look like they're in red text. And you kind of watch as they like just stand across from the Fated Fates currently, who are kind of beaten and broken down, and they kind of just like nod, and you watch too as you see Yofet, who I described was Codex's, Codex's mom in a way. She appears there too, and you watch as there's just this release, and the red leaves them all. No longer are they bound by the trespass they did back in the War of the Gods. And then the vision's gone. As you kind of all like claim back to this, you even see on the top of all your heads that white like arcane eye that appears, just dissipates and disappears. Eventually, probably as you guys are like getting yourselves together and probably trying to walk out and getting V2 up, Cinnamon's with you, you will see Balthazar walking with Casimir. I can't wake him. And I've lost all my power. As he kind of like looks at his hand.
What can we do to help?
Dogma might be able to wish him back. I can't wish anymore.
I think we should be done with wishes. I don't think that that's the solution here. I don't know if that's harsh of me to say, but I feel like problems were solved and created from these wishes, and I think that there is a solution to this, I hope, and we'll help with whatever we can, but I don't think a wish of natural magic is going to bring them back.
I think only a diamond would fix this, but they're all gone.
We could wish for another diamond.
Yeah, have Dogmos for a diamond then.
The diamond is more powerful than the gods were. Mortals can't just wish that back.
Just because it was destroyed doesn't mean it's gone.
What if we replanted the Dawnwood?
I think the Dawnwood deserves to rest as well. He's going to walk out. I'm going to gather with the rest of the martyrs.
We should go make sure everyone else is okay.
All right. So, from this list, everyone has lived with losing basically both leaders of the Martyrs of Ponte, no longer having Fiara de Marta or Casimir de Marta around. The rebellion is being headed by Balthazar. He takes up his sister and his brother's mantle, and the rebellion incurs. As you guys get back to the Pale White Castle Keep, there's a quick moment as Darian, who looks fucking destroyed and like dog bite marks all over them, like takes washes all and puts it on the wall to get all the people out. And as you guys are kind of like telling them all of what happened and all this stuff, King Gil will come out and be like, "What happened, you guys?" And if anybody like sits to explain to King Gil what the fuck happened, King Gil will be like, "Oh my god, that's crazy. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I know who your next big villain is."
Who's the next big villain?
Who's that?
Remember I told you I didn't like my husband?
Yes.
Ooh, what do you want us to do?
Okay, well he's the bull of the Moira Parliament. He's Baron Kieran Bycerin. No one ever asked, so. Yeah, he's kind of an asshole. He likes his position of power. So it's not gonna be easy, but I'll hide away as long as I'm okay, but just want to let you...
What about you, Gil? What do you want after this?
I'll go back and wash his hole. I like being in Wash's hole. That's good.
No, nobody's allowed in there anymore. I'm gonna burn the hole.
If we, for example, just like a hypothetical, overthrow the government, like you want us to keep you're chill, right? You're chill?
Oh, I don't want it anymore. No, I'm
not
good.
being king anymore?
We can end the line. Nope. Yep, thank you.
Great. Will you stay on friend, though?
Oh, yeah. And, you know, like, I wouldn't, he's still my husband, technically, so, like, maybe he'll be better when he's not, like, in control whenever you beat him out of it. Like, you can beat him up, but, like, I don't know, like, maybe I can give him another chance. And he, like, does, like, I can give him another chance. The rebellion will take 3 years to take down the Septum. But, luckily, with Arathia, Archbishop Ozzel, Salmix, aka Dark Fury for everybody else who knew him, all dead and gone, there was only 4 bulls left. And, of course, Scarlet, Darian, would obviously be on your side. And with Darian's help as Scarlet, taking down Lord Olo Tunley, Bull of the Kukondulit, as well as Chamberlain Urkeras, Bull of the Gaunt Union, is a bit easier. But the final bull, Baron Kieran Bycerin, husband to the King Guillaume III, was not as easy. He did not go quietly. He basically had every burgomaster and most all high noble houses on his side. But after 3 years, that's all done. You get him to step down. You even imprison him for a bit as the government of Zobraria is taken down. For a year, Balthazar becomes the de facto leader of Zobraria. Most people look to him. He carries on the name of the Demarda, and he was a politician before. And he does well. He seems really changed. But after, he doesn't want to stay leader. He just is kind of like the de facto leader for, like, the institution of change. There's a lot of things that happen. There's something that calls the Daybreak Initiative that begins, and the whole idea for the Daybreak Initiative is to use arcane magic to lift the above precincts away from the Murkside precincts to so that open air can fill and illuminate all of Zobraria, Murkside and all. It's not fully done yet. It'll probably still be happening during your epilogues, and it won't be done until like most of you are dead fully. But like they start naming them 2 different cities. So there is the Risenburg, the city of the Risenburg. And then there is just the old city, which is what Murkside was, and it's old with an E for fun. The first chancellors of both of those cities will be Darian, will be the chancellor of the old city, and Clea Moore will be the chancellor of Risenburg. During this time, too, you all do notice that there is regrowth everywhere. Like, again, the city was fucking destroyed, and it doesn't get much better during the rebellion. But there is regrowth for all of it. The city gets reconstructed before it starts becoming the Risenburg for this Daybreak Initiative. And the wilds start it starts to grow its grassland again. The plainland starts to come through. And they stop calling it the wilds because they think it has kind of a bad connotation, and it starts to be known as the Veld. What they basically make it as for the Daybreak Initiative is Zobraria will not be under one ruler anymore. It'll be, there's the 2 cities, whatever sanctioned areas that they have in the Veld and in the Grove are ruled by whomever. Pontay's not touched. Not much. Some martyrs are sent to try to start at least rebuilding what they can, but there's no one who lives in Pontay, and most don't feel like it's right. Well, Balthazar's not there, and without Fiar and Casimir. Other big things that you can note before we start going into the epilogues. Elena and Salvador, Issa's father and mother, or mother and father, they take a lot of what happened to heart and kind of understand that they, in some way, played a passive role in a very abusive government. They will dissolve their title and liquidate their assets to contribute to the new Zobraria, and they stop going by Balador entirely. They go back by Salvador's original last name, which is Eves. Shaman Mod keep the Red Raven Adventuring Guild open and well. It's available for hire from anyone across the continent of Zobraria or anybody outside of it. Zobraria's borders kind of open that anyone can kind of come in. Not that it was closed, but like they're less like, they're less like, do you have your green card? Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're like, anyone can be here. With the help of the martyrs, and because Ayessa is the new leader of the Russet Waste, the canyons to the Russet Waste open their borders to let anybody interested in learning the negation of divine magic and their ways of the Russet Waste. Rush and Willow both find people of their own, not each other, and they make do to restart the Ill Claws for better. Dogma and Yelena will end up together. They start a new university in place of this dismantled Trinity College and Holy Sun Institute. Those both get dissolved because they had to do with the religion of Zobraria. And they find their new university in the old city, which they call the Larakai University after the Druids. And then as for your house staff, Braz, Wilma, Frederick, Jaless, and Gabby the Cabbie, they all get very well compensated.
Does Gabby leave his wife?
She died.
Oh, thank God.
Yes! Good.
We throw a party for Gabby.
With that, let us get into the epilogues of the player characters known as the Fated Fates. We're going to start with Codex and Wash. Codex. You and Wash together go to the orphanage where you and Dogma were found. Probably after the rebellion's done, and probably also after Balthazar's de facto interim, or maybe even during then. It's not like you can't also get funding from Darian and or Clea, because they know you. You get funding to like kind of take it and make it into a massive academy for orphans, and you call it the Great Bear's Hearth. Why don't you and Andrew together tell me a little bit about that place?
She goes back to the orphanage with Felix, and they like probably start with just the orphanage, and then as they get funding from the homies, because Codex has no fucking money, they'll add on buildings, and like eventually it becomes like this massive academy with like a huge yard in the middle, and Codex starts like hiring teachers that are helpful, and Felix starts teaching too, right?
Yeah, Felix drops Wash, and it more or less just starts like kindergarten kind of education. Occasionally we'll like sit with slightly older kids and try to help them learn as much as they can. Because he is not a genius, he can only teach them so much. But yeah, he finally gets to help other kids because he's always like had a soft spot for kids, and he didn't have a great upbringing really. So yeah, he does that for them.
Do they call you Mr. Wersh?
Mr. Wersh.
Felix is like the elementary school teacher. Codex is headmaster, which is really unhinged for her. And she's just like, please call me literally anything but that. You can call me mom. You can call me, Miss Sayori. You can call me
headmistress.
But she also absolutely teaches gym class and cantrips, because if she teaches any spells above cantrips, there's potential for her to explode. So she's like, yeah, kids, here's cantrips. And then as the academy kind of grows and kids it's more established, every one of the Fated Fates gets a message from Headmaster Sayori, and it's just like, hey, I got a lot of kids here who want to learn a lot of stuff. If you want to come and like teach at the academy, I could really use the help, because there are a lot of kids asking me how to lockpick, and I don't know how to do that. Teach whatever you're good at to a bunch of kids who just want to learn shit and like have a good life. And obviously it's still like kids can still get adopted and not live there anymore, even though it's a pretty sick academy. And then at some point, Andrew, do you think Felix or Codex proposes?
I feel like Codex proposes, but Felix also has a ring, and he's like, you go.
So they get married in a non-religious. It's kind of questionable whether it's fully legit or not, because there's no religion attached. But can Reluth marry us, the dragon?
Yeah, anybody can. Religion doesn't go like, there's still religion, but there's no like governmental religion. There's probably just like eventually there might be like small churches to Zaharis and or other like of the stalwart gods.
Can we still have ceremony cast so we get a +2 to AC when we're from 30?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Codex's dads walk her down the aisle. It's real cute. They're both still gnomes though, so they're very small.
Yeah, and eventually you guys will have twins.
Yep.
You'll have a daughter named Grimoire, who is, as you wrote, fascinated with math and numbers. And then you'll have a non-binary child named Singer. But yeah, I would think like just one day, they're both probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6. Let's just say 8. Old enough to like kind of understand things, but not too old. I think just for certainty's sake, I'll say they're playing in whatever yard you guys have. And you guys watch as Singer...
Hey, Ma, Dad, I lost my tooth.
So, do you have it? Do you still have it? Did you secure the tooth?
I lost it under the bushes.
Okay, we have to find it.
Okay, but what is that?
As they point to this small little pink rabbit that is like ethereal and transparent and is not yours, Codex.
She like sidles next to Felix and is like, that is not mine.
If I move my hand, it follows.
Oh, no. I mean, this is great, but also...
Wait, teach me some of the magic words and I'll try it.
No, we have to be very careful. Okay.
Can I want to learn as Grimoire walks over with a book. I want to see what happens. I mean, I don't really like magic, but there could be some calculations with it. What is it, like bibbity kadibby dobby? And you just watch as it like goes boom and like explodes the bushes.
I guess that was it.
Yeah, that's not... Okay, honey, we have to be very careful when we say magic words, because if you're like mommy, it could be bad.
So I don't have to say please anymore for cookies?
No, you do have to say that.
But that's a magic word you said.
It is the magic word. That one's fine. That one's safe. It's the magic word. but there's other words that also have power, but that power can be kind of, random.
I'm not random. Grim goes, yes, you are.
I think you should listen to your elder sister.
We're twins.
Yeah, she has a couple seconds on you, bud.
Okay, well, she doesn't have a little rabbit.
I guess you're right.
Listen, we will teach you how to. She's like side-eyeing Felix. Like, we will teach you how to do magic, but you have to promise you will be very careful and you won't cast unless you're around mommy or daddy. Okay?
I promise.
Pinky promise.
Okay, by the blood of our ancestors, we are bound. You watch as Grim's like, Mom, and you see, like, as you look over to her, she's like, oh, like she's getting a bloody nose. Why is it burned? As you see, it's gold.
What do you mean?
Oh God, Sunshine!
What is happening? What's happening? Oh, I can help that. I know one of the healing spells.
No, honey, no, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay, sweetheart. Wash scoops her up. Like, okay, we're gonna stand over here and we're gonna breathe. Okay.
Alrighty, Finley next. During this time, you take a lot of family time after the rebellion and after the Fated Fates are dismissed from duty. You take time to reconnect with your family, which makes sense. I will say, I know Shay wants to accompany you and anybody else who wants to. You will try to revive as many people as you can from the final arc. Or Kellebog, you're not able to. And especially with what happened with the Demardas and like all that stuff, like there's only so much you can do. I think probably Balthazar gets your help to just make like some type of place that Casimir can be. From what you see of Balthazar, he's mostly just with Casimir, trying to be what he can do for his brother. He will take you and just like kind of sit by wherever they have like Casimir just kind of like laying. My sister and my brother have done a lot and have helped a lot of people. And this is something I need to kind of journey and do as my own type of penance and as a journey of growth for me. I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know if it'll be fruitful. I'd like to take as least amount of people as possible. I'm going to go out and see if I can find pieces to that diamond. No matter what, we will come back. Before we get to any other things, I know you talked about that the Doshimore will have a Fairy Fire Festival, which is what I was thinking about doing for your RP, if that's okay, but you describe that.
The Doshimore Fairy Fire Festival is a melding of the different practices and teachings, where it takes the warmth and the like joy of flame and combines it with the wildfire Fae aspect to create a night of joy and advantage. But it hasn't happened since Doshimore was destroyed, and while planning its revival and like planning to revive Doshimore, Liliana and the other people of Doshimore voted for Finley to host the first one since he is the person who brought it all back. And it's just like, there's fireworks, there's lanterns, there's games, dancing, music. It's like a homecoming festival of sorts. And there will be a Fairy Fire King and a Fairy Fire Queen. Fairy Fire Festival is set up with a series of games, and there are points to each game. He adds up all the points and he doesn't decide, he announces. That's the better word. He announces the Fairy Fire King and Queen. He is also in the running, so just watch out.
So the Fairy Fire Festival will be like right after Balthazar's 1 year as the de facto leader of Zobraria. What a weird fucking ending for that. What if you guys killed him? It would be very different. So you guys are all there. Everybody who has lived is there. Everybody who knows is there. Finley invited everyone.
Finley is in like host mode, so he's like anxious and running around. I'm assuming that by invitation of Shay that Ishnalia, her husband, and her children are there. So if anybody sees them, you probably see Finley chasing her children along with holding probably, I'll just say Anya had a baby.
Sorry, one thing about Doshimore, it's all restored. Everyone who was killed who wasn't Igniskal Druid, which is all the people who live there, they were all restored.
Finley is like running around holding this baby, kind of greeting people as he's like chasing Ishnalia's kids and like keeping them from doing things as he's going to corral them very expertly to Shay.
Got it. I'm just going to pick one of you and just start for the all of us around time. Probably as Stella goes up to you, Terrence goes, are these like bugs? Or like, can I eat this?
What is it? What did you
It's
say?
slathered with something. It was on a thing, and I was slathered.
Was it from a stand where people were selling food, or did you just pick something up off the ground? Because that doesn't seem like you.
Well, of course I didn't pick it up the ground, Terrence, and I'm very smart about all my food. It smells like it's a type of sauce, so.
Okay, then eat it, I guess. Does it look good? Do you want me to eat it first?
Yeah, you eat it. Shove it in your mouth. While I've got you here, and
spicy.
While you're not saying anything, no coffee, no interrupting your loving mother, I have two things I would like to talk to you about. One, she shows her ring finger. Rory has proposed.
He rolls his eyes in like a playful way.
Two, is that guy your girlfriend? Pointing at Ezra.
Terrence buckles over laughing like I just did. He's literally like, you've met Ezra. He like,
hi, Ezra Rousseau. Nice to meet you. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Stella. Nice to meet you. This is Rory, my fiancé. We're gonna get married and own a relationship, or own a restaurant together. Rory's like,
I lean over to Ezra and I'm like, you're gonna have to help me a lot with this. I need to keep
Oh, okay. Tell me about Terrence when he was young. Oh, okay. Excuse me. I have a quick question, Mr. Finley. How many points is Gug? How many points to win the Princess Queen? Because I think I have enough.
All right. Finley hands this baby to Terrence.
Terrence is now awkwardly holding a baby, but like,
I have 50 points.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. I've done every activity and I've done every dress-up portion. What does that get me?
You didn't have to dress up for any of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, except for the dance contest. There was bonus points. All right.
Terrence leans over to Wash and is like, I know I don't do it anymore, but do you think I should juice a little to win some extra points?
Yeah, do it. I have 5 points. I don't know how he got 50.
You look at the list and you're like, wait, we haven't done these activities yet.
Gug.
Yeah?
How did you do the dance contest?
Oh, okay, I won. I did it well.
But the dance contest is in an hour?
Oh, I know, but I've already was there.
But you have to wait for
God,
the
do you
the
time
event to
travel?
Yeah, I have started learning chronology magic. I already went there and won.
Well,
okay, now you'll see me in an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you finish this, then I'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
All right, and he's gonna fold it up and put it away.
Fine, Dogma, and it's like, you gotta beat this kid. Now that you know how to time travel too, so if you and Gug just go back and forth in time.
I don't know how to time travel. How does he know how to time travel?
Weren't you doctorating in chronology, whatever it?
Yeah, but you can't learn you can't learn to just time travel.
Okay,
You have a
where did all my money go?
Yeah, I know I have a doctorate. I know everything about chronology. You can't time travel with chronology.
Well, then what the fuck is he doing?
I mean, not like that. Gug just winks and then waddles away.
Wash, like, narrows his eyes, just staring at Gug, like, what are you?
All right.
I'm Gug.
Unfortunately, I have to admit that if things play out the way that Gug has described it, I'm gonna have to announce that Gug is a winner.
Yeah, probably at a point Liliana will walk and be like, y'all don't mind if I just steal my son for a second? Liliana will sit with you, inside, like, your old house, basically. I save you from a hectic party.
Yeah. He kind of like sits up and it's just like...
So, I did want to talk to you a bit about, I know you don't have to stay here all the time, Finley. And that's not me not wanting you here. I love having you here. But we're here. Like, pinch me, I'm real.
He reaches out and pinches her.
You gotta let go of what happened.
Mama, what would you do if it all blew up?
Listen, I couldn't live with myself. I could have been the one that stayed. Maybe. Probably not. Because if I did stay, they would have still been after me. No one was going to look for a 10-year-old Fearbulk. Plus, I had to cast the thing to make it happen, so I don't think I really... Maybe, let me redact that. I wouldn't have been able... If I could have, I would have, but I think I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I sacrificed everybody else for me. And if one had to stay, I chose you, Finley. You were older than your siblings. And you were a strong... a powerful druid, and a big and mighty Fearbulk. And no, you don't got a dragon like you always thought you would. And she kind of like scratches Cinnamon's chin. She goes like, you got Cinnamon.
I got a Drake in my own way.
Yeah, that you did. But I'm just trying to say. And she like grabs your chin. She's like, my darling boy, we are alive and safe. And you don't have to stay in the nest forever. Anya has to because she just had a child, but that's, Even Ronan, Neve, and Fina are gonna jump out eventually. And I just see the fear in your eyes that when you were 10. And everything's calmer now, baby. You got a whole life ahead of you. Especially now, since you're such a big druid, archdruid that everybody knows help take down the government and all that other stuff.
He's like swatting like those words away. I'm just a guy.
Well, you're a guy that also has some mighty good friends out there too. As the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and plus all the NPCs are just arguing about the points, like
we're screaming at each other.
In my situation, what would you do? I mean, he really only wants to take Cinnamon so he can find these diamonds, right? I know that the invitation was held out to me, but
I didn't get to talk to those two very much, but from what we saw, and they're as much your family as we are. I can't tell you what choice to make. And I don't live in your shoes, baby, but if there's a chance.
He kind of like slumps back down. But the
crush you have on him?
He's brooding and awful and gloomy and doomy and fine, handsome, sure, I'll say it, handsome. What's up with that?
I would say like individually he's brooding and gloomy, but I was like when he was like the de facto leader, he was very like people followed him. Like he was like a very charismatic I'm gonna bring us into like a better age.
But then you see that coin flip, and then it's suddenly like, whoa, charisma, whoa, ambition, nerve, gumption.
I mean, you could say that about the rest of your friends. You've all had really hard lives that when you get to be somewhere comfortable by yourself, you're just going to act how you want to act. But you all put on a face when you see each other. Not in a bad way, but, you've all been through a hard time. As I'm sure he has.
You see it, and you wanted to take those eyes that he's looking at the world and he's trying to change things. You want to look at you, but then he looks past you. He kind of like slides down the wall.
Well, then go, Finley. We'll be here. Maybe tell your friends you're leaving so they don't.
It just really feels like he just wants Cinnamon to go.
And you need to be with Cinnamon.
So you think it's all like an excuse?
Are you trying to ask me if I think that he's trying to hit on you to go with him? No, because I think... maybe, I don't know. I might say no. I think it's because you made a wish on your tiny little duck to find these diamonds, and that one last diamond was exploded, and he's the only one who can find them. So...
He's pretty good at that.
I don't know what answer you're looking for when it's coming to Balthazar, but beside all that, you should do it for Casimir and Fiara. Figure out your feelings of romance later.
Kind of like beet red.
Not everyone's going to be a quick glance and all's understood like me and your dad, but I'm just saying, if you make the choice, it's okay. We will be fine. We will be safe. We will be happy. As far as I'm aware, those purple worms are also gone for somehow. I don't know. Maybe they were only alive because of the blood. I don't know. Or maybe they're just dormant. Who knows? But nothing we can't handle.
I think you're right. And I don't know what you're talking about, because you told Dad to get a boulder rat off of himself. You told him that you wouldn't help him.
We gotta count up some points out there, so if you want to... she like starts getting up, being a little flustered, and she's like walking out. She like look at you and just go, I love you.
I love you, Mama.
Reach out her hand. As you guys finish up the Fairy Light Festival.
The Fairy Fire Princess, first time in Doshin Moor Fairy Fire Festival history. Good.
Probably the next day, Balthazar will be like, would you like to go with me? And you guys will go. Eventually you'll come back. I'm not saying what happens because there's going to be a roll at the end, and that's just going to be that. But you guys will return. When you return, you help Codex's academy. You kind of become someone like in partnership with it, not like partnership with like the academy, but like you do start your own type of like people who are just like children who are displaced. So some of them you might be in contact, be like, hey, I got some kids who need places to go. Finley eventually, as you said, goes to college and studies advanced healing arts. As you try to make a couple hospitals, any weddings that happen, you will go. And yeah, you and Balthazar do become close, especially from it's like several years you're gone. I would say less than a decade, but like you come back, I would say you and Balthazar are like a little closer. Would you like to make it a romantic relationship?
Roll.
I'll roll. Natural 20.
There you go. Oh, wow.
Yes.
You guys like have a really nice relationship. Are so close with all of the martyrs you knew. But eventually, like, since you two will both live a very long time, because he's immortal and basically you're almost immortal, you kind of almost like
give people rights as they die. For all the martyrs you knew, and if any of the friends of yours are fine with it. But I would say the last martyr that you help pass on before like you're very, very old would be Soom. She's like the last official martyr that dies. Because obviously, like, the martyrs had kids, but they weren't martyrs. But like the last official martyr century, like probably like a century and some down the line, like Soom is the last martyr to pass on that you will like be with her while she dies. After Soom dies, you wrote that Finley with Cinnamon, and I'm assuming with Balthazar, and also with Shay, will go into the Feywild. And as you guys go into the Feywild, you do see, briefly, and you're not sure if it's like a full, maybe you imagined it, but you do see, from something I rolled earlier, very briefly, you do see a small log house on a tiny little plain in the Feywild, and it looks like you see a very happy family of 5. A golden-haired mother, red-haired child, green-haired daughter, pink-haired, or like strawberry blonde-haired daughter and green-haired daughter. They look different and changed, and they look like they're for the better, and mortal. All elves. They don't look exactly the same, you're not exactly sure. But for the briefest of moments, maybe that wish did something. Alright, Issa. You take an active role with your parents restoring the balance and change to religion to fit the new Zobraria. I think something that you and your parents can do after they kind of liquidate, they're getting rid of the Balador name, because they're very like, in a way the Balador name hurt at least us and probably you, but for us, we'd want to drop it. And they want to do whatever helps this new Zobraria that now has like 4 sectors and even 5 sectors because the fucking volcano island we never touched anyway.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Jesus.
I think instead of making like temples, because it's not a huge religious place anymore, Zobraria, I think something you and your parents can do that's kind of like that is you guys will make a shrine to each greater god where each diamond was found, and like that you can pray to. And then probably wherever you guys see fit, you'll place shrines for the stalwart gods as well. But like you'll go to the places that you remember from your adventures and also where you know they were used to make shrines to each of these gods, so that if people so wish, there can be a little bit of worship to these gods. There's usually a lot of crime around the Othamir shrine, which you're like, but you're like,
is there an Othamir shrine where Wash got cut in half?
You go back to Providence, you get your doctorate in bardic studies. You still have a little bit of religion to Venona, but finally you play that goddamn oboe.
Listen, long story short, Guy had bought them like a plot of land for their house, like before he graduated, and so she used that, like when he died, she used that land to do like a community garden in the 3rd. So she's been maintaining that and like whatnot for the last 2 or 3 years, but she will now plant one in each precinct, and then I guess if like it's no longer Merkside, like she would do all of.
Darren's like, no. Slams the door.
He's just like, we're engaged. Look at this engagement ring. It says to my betrothed.
I'm actually engaged to Big T. No, just kidding. Hey guys!
You're engaged to me.
How have you guys been? Is anybody coming to my bar anymore? You go back and like spend a lot of time with your parents. And I think your parents probably moved to the old city. And they find like just like a nice place, probably in the what used to be the Merkside of the 5th, which no one thought existed, but it exists there. I guess there was no pocket, but like there was the Merkside. I'd like to, like, if you wanted to, we can like lead into like you're teaching them how to cook, and they're both kind of like, Elena still doesn't have her arm. Her arm could never be healed as much as Finley tried. But
prosthetic?
Yeah, she has like when she goes to fancy events, she might put it on maybe, but also she's like sympathy. No, but
Elena very much was like, I lost my arm.
She goes into a store and goes, oh no.
Oh, what am I to do?
But yeah, probably try to teach them, and Salvador's like, I don't understand. Who taught you this recipe? Is this a Codex recipe? Doesn't she make weird things?
This is not a Codex recipe. I'm teaching you. These are from long ago when I first learned how to cook, because no one taught me how to cook at home, as you can imagine. So when I went to college, and then I transferred secretly, but you knew about it. Haha.
Oh, I know. We talk about this in therapy.
Right. I was fine.
I'm such a hero. Salvador just like chuckles as he's like stirring whatever the fuck the instructions say, and he's trying to read it with his eyesight's getting a little worse.
Issa's turning to her dad and is like, hold on a second, you asked me about my degrees. You guys only went to Holy Sun. Are your degrees just
so do I go clockwise, counterclockwise, or
I'm the only degree holder in the family?
There's a zoom out from as like there's a little bit of bickering. That's just a zoom out from it. As we move on to Shay. So Shay, you have that you're going to spend your time in Zobraria helping rebuild, get a less
corrupt system of government in place, which that just happened, as I described earlier. And then you spend a lot of time with Ishnali and her family, and you can go back and forth as you please and not worry about aging like other people. I mean, only have to worry as much as Finley has to worry about it, which is kind of just like, one day I'll just be old. But you and Hal end up together. So tell me a bit about you and Hal's life.
He's not going to live as long as her, so that's sad. But Shay's going to stick around Zobraria for about 100 years or 150 years, however long that Hal is there with her. She'll stick around. She'll help out Fates however she can. She's visiting her family a lot. She will travel with Yelena and probably Dogma and all them. I feel like they do the like little quartet travel adventures here and there whenever. This didn't come up a whole lot in the campaign, but Shay has kept like journals her entire life. She's always been like big on journaling, and she just like has kept them in her bag of holding. So she has journals about all of our lives, all of our adventures. Like, she's studied everyone's magic as much as she can. That's why she loves to go and gather information. She just like writes it all down. So she has like stacks and stacks and stacks of just journals.
Terrence told you his fucking formula. If you wrote it down, he's gonna burn it. He will hunt you down and burn it. I'm not kidding.
She probably has a bunch of notes in there, and like some of it scribbled out, just being like, don't ever show anyone like under it or stuff like that. And like, it's not complete. But as soon as most of the people she's close to have died, I'm thinking like the fated fates one by one. I'm assuming they all go. And then once Hal goes and all the needles are gone and all of that, she'll meet up with Finley and whoever else is still there and just be like, all right, let's go.
And I think a fun arc, like if you I would want to do it with your sister in the demi-plane of Skumatesh.
Yes.
Yeah, so you probably like, it's probably like a day where she's like, I need to get away from the kids and my husband. They're great. It's just, it's a,
Why don't we go back to the old fighting grounds? I'm sure they're still there.
You want to fight?
No. But you know how much we always play there.
Yeah. She'll probably like grab your hand, and as you guys are just like waltzing over there, and eventually you'll just be in there. But as you're waltzing over, she'll just be like, I just don't even really know what to do anymore to teach people. I mean, I teach people when they learn, but I feel like there's no reason to now. Not no reason, but without that fucking Vine bitch. And you watch as she probably like lifts up her arm, and you see there's like a huge scar she got. The ones who've survived, like that survived the attacks when I was rolling for them, they have their battle scars. But she's like, none of that fucking cunt's gone. There's not much that the Grove really needs defending from.
I guess now you can just live.
I guess so. And do what?
I'll let you know when I figure it out myself.
I'm glad we don't have lost time. I feel like you and I just have all the time in the world to just figuring it out. I'm glad there was no lost time. I mean, there was, but at a point, I think it'll feel like a blink.
It's true. It's probably one of the best gifts our mother ever gave us.
She'd be proud.
Yes, she would.
You know, she ever do that trick with you? The one with the coin?
Yes.
I've yet to teach my kids, but would you want to maybe try practicing it? The one when she'd throw it and it would disappear in the shadows?
Of course.
Okay, call it. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads.
Roll a dex check. And she just throws it behind her.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, fuck!
It's heads.
Where were they? It's 10.
She throws it behind her and it disappears, and like you don't even like look because you just catch it behind you. Heads. Okay. I do wonder a lot. I wonder, do you feel Uma with you?
In a way, I suppose. There's definitely something there. It doesn't feel as dangerous as it once did. It feels more like a companion. I'd like to think that's him.
Can I ask a quick request before you go on your next venture? Do you think you could maybe try to help me find the ghost of my father?
Of course.
And if you don't find him, you owe me drinks. How about that?
I think we can agree to that.
She probably grabs your hand, and as you guys just like walk off into the demiplane. All right, Terrence, you're our last one. But Terrence, you sit down and you tell your mom everything.
I start from before the first time you meet Terrence. It's like from the start of creating this serum beginning.
Yeah. And she never gets like angry. she mostly gets sad, and not because she's like, oh, I'm ashamed. No, but she's like, she gets like ashamed in herself that like, kind of like that conversation before where she's like, I just feel like it didn't have to be this way. I thought maybe I could do something to help you. But she understands. And she also just gets sad because she feels sad that I think she has this idea that when you talk about the serum, you made the serum because you didn't feel like you were enough. And she like just always constantly reiterates like you were nothing but enough. You're more than enough.
And I think he tells her that it started that way and then it became something different.
She's nothing but supportive. And she's nothing but there for you. And, you know, she's a very like empathetic crier. So she like is just sad for all the things you talk to her about. She just like is sad for you, like is sad the things that you experience. But also she does understand. She's like, you know what though? You took something and you made it yours. And you still made yourself a hero in the end. Pearl hugs you, tells you, like, you know, you're always her hero. Eventually, she gets engaged to by Rory. You help. After, the reason why Codex and Wash have you kind of planning the wedding a little bit for them is because you first do it for your mom. After that, you end up becoming a teacher yourself. You work at Codex and Wash's school, as well as you do some, like, either just lectures or sometimes do a class here or there.
I do basic arithmetic for the kids at the orphanage, and I do chemical sciences at the university.
But, yeah, eventually you do have, like, an after-school, like, extracurricular science team.
That's for the kids.
And they take on experiments, and you do like little experiments with them. There are rats in your classroom, none of which you will experiment on. And I'll let you say the one thing about, there is one rat that I will say is your favorite, the class favorite and your favorite rat, and his name is...
Cranar.
Yes! Horrible.
Yes!
Yeah.
Codex makes sure that, is that in the academy or is that where...
Oh yeah! No, that's in the academy. They have rats. He has pet rats for the classroom.
Yeah, Wash keeps an eye on that room.
He named it that as a joke.
At night when Codex passes by, sometimes she'll just like see all the rats, just like, and then just the Cranar is like this, and it's just dark silhouette, and there's white eyes. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna put this on you. Do you want Ezra and Terrence to have children?
If I'm teaching, I didn't think I would be teaching at an orphanage. If I'm teaching at a fucking orphanage, dude, I can't guarantee that there isn't at least one kid that Terrence is like, this is my protege. Like, this is my scientific protege, and he or she or theirs, whatever. Like, if Ezra is like, I do want kids, then I'd be like...
I think you'd be up to adopt too. I think
that's what would happen. I think that we would maybe adopt a kid from the orphanage, and maybe a baby would come through, and we'd be like...
So you and Ezra probably have two sons. Both that you adopt from the orphanage, one that is a baby, the second one will be a baby. But the first one that you adopt that has a name, his name is Pilt. And he's just like he's probably like the protege type who's like he's always like loves the class, and he's like always excited for after school, and like he always like tries to keep his grade up to like impress everybody. The baby that you adopt, you will name him Carlos after your dad. You for most of the rest of your life, you have a very simple life. You throw out the formula. You get rid of it completely, except for one bit, which we'll reverse in time to get to. For the formula, other than something I'm going to go back for in a second, you destroy it. You get rid of it because people just wanted to use it for devastation, and there's been enough of that. Enough is enough at this point. But before a lot of this happens, probably around the time that you start teaching and, Ezra's doing his own thing, Ezra probably even opens up his own type of artificy shop somewhere, wherever you guys are staying. Chartreuse comes a-knocking. So, how far are we now, boys? And I'll say by this point you have a full body. Helena probably, she's just not here today, but, she comes around. Helena becomes a really close friend. She's also, your go-to babysitter. She's like...
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have a full body. You have a crystal that can harness soul energy. And you distort the formula to use it as, this kind of, soul connective blood circulation of energy for warfare. It's basically this energy circulation oil, if you will.
It is basically the blood of the warforged.
Right. That goes with that soul crystal of the mind. Chartreuse kind of shows up and goes, so, how close are we? Ezra's like, we just have to test this out, and if it comes to. Ezra is going to kind of walk over, and you watch as he pulls out the soul crystal that you guys have been working on, and you notice he has this other drawer that you always kind of see him quick hide the drawer, and you're like, I'll ask later. But he goes over to it, and you watch him put
put the soul crystal away, and you and Churches are like, what's going on? As he'll open up this drawer, and you'll see inside is this red stone. It looks like a ruby, and he will put it at the heart of this Warforged. And you'll watch as he kind of incants something, and you'll probably hold your hand with the other one, and you watch as this Warforged will... Hello. And Chartreuse will be like, oh. Wow.
Hello, Terrence will say to the Warforged. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Who am I? You're Ruby, says Ezra. Okay. And it's not Connie's soul, but it is the essence that you've saved since she died. Okay, well, write down a formula, call me, and we're done. Good job, boys. And you watch, she kind of like winks and then disappears. What is my purpose?
To live. Do you know what that means?
V2 kind of barks. No, but can you help?
Of course we can. He's gonna hold out his hands to like help them stand up if they're sitting, or like if they were laying on the table and now they're sitting.
Yeah, kind of get up. Okay.
There's a lot to learn about life. But we're gonna help you, okay?
Okay. Can you roll, as you see like Ezra shut the drawer, can you please roll a perception check?
That is a 27.
Okay. You notice as Ezra like starts to shut that drawer with the ruby in it, you see a small glint of something that you have not seen before. And again, it's the first time you open the drawer, but now he's kind of open. You're like, well, that can of worms is open, so I can look in the drawer if I want. Thank you.
I think I do it while he's closing it. I kind of put my hand in the way. I'm like, I look at him like,
what? I kept the ruby in there to be a surprise. I don't know.
No, yeah. He like kind of slowly pulls it open. Like, what else are you hiding? And he like. Completely crossed my mind. I found this in your jacket a while ago, and it's a small little shard, maybe of the diamond. Huh. He like picks it up.
By this point, it's been 5 years since Finley and Balthasar have left. So in total, 8 years since the final fight.
I'm gonna hold on to this. I gotta make a call.
Okay. I know who you call.
Yeah.
Eventually, all of you will receive a call from Terrence, and then from Balthazar, and from Finley, to meet back in Pammer's mineshaft. It's much more decked out now. Someone's made it into a lovely tavern, but like it's probably one of the children of some of the martyrs. And you'll see like Balthazar and Finley look like, they have longer hair, they look older. Not like older, but they look like matured from last time you saw them. Casimir is still unconscious, but he's with them. He's just laying down. And you see like sitting at the center of the table is almost fully pieced together diamond. Took a long time. Terrence, may we try?
Of course. And he's gonna walk forward and put the diamond in Balthazar's hand and kind of like tighten it. Just be like, good luck.
Okay. You watch as Balthazar puts the small piece of the diamond in. And for a while, there's like a hush and nothing. And then it starts to glow. Doesn't really matter the words that are said, but a wish is made. And you watch as suddenly, as the diamond lights up, Casimir wakes up, very slowly. And as the white of the diamond starts to emanate and grow, it gets very bright. And as it begins to shine, as it done for each wish that was made on your adventures before, you watch as it forms into this figure. A figure very similar in shape that you last saw during the break of the dawn, or the breaking of the dawnwood, of Fiar de Martet. And she looks to her brothers, and to all of you, and she just begins to smile. And that smile shines brighter and longer than any ray of the sun ever had. And that's where we're on the campaign. Oh, God, I love you guys.
Love you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next campaign.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you for going on this adventure with us.
Yeah, seriously. We're not Critical Role, we're not Dimension 20, we're not Dungeon Daddies, we're not professional podcast people yet. We're like not together fully in this team as a D&D, but
we're just people who like to tell stories.
And cry on camera.
End of The Table Is Yours Season 1, The Fated Fates. The Table Is Yours will return for Season 2. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the table then.